Alright, we're back into it. So, you just have had an exciting battle. You have successfully fought off all the horrible things that were, you know, the guards, which were kind of coming for murder for you.
Yeah, I'm just glad we didn't have to deal with the paladins. That would have been much worse.
I mean, they're around somewhere and wanting to murder you, probably.
Yeah, don't speak too soon.
They're attacking the front.
Mm-hmm.
As I know.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? Maybe we'll have another battle here shortly, but...
Yeah.
So currently, everything is quiet. The hour has passed. You have not seen any signs of any kind of guards or anything. What is your plan at the moment?
I am gonna open that door,
Mm-hmm.
shove the table right up to it, and I'm gonna sit there and look down that corridor.
Okay, so basically, you're basically...
I'm waiting.
Yeah. So you're looking down the way that, like, you think people might come, while you kind of, like, get, like, the table in the way of the door as a kind of barricade.
Oh. And I'm gonna throw some chairs out in the corridor.
Okay.
The chairs worked.
Mm-hmm. The chairs...
Yeah.
It surprisingly worked much better than I thought after missing the doorway.
Well, you know, it's like, when I thought about it, I'm like, okay, the guy's getting pushed back 10 feet. Where would that take him? Well, he's like 10 feet from the doorway. Oh, wait, there's a chair there. And I'm like, well, I'm going to roll a dexterity save to see if this... He rolled a 2. He rolled a 2 on his dexterity save, so I'm like, you certainly trip over that.
Worked out really well.
Okay. Yeah. So after I come back, I start tending to.
Yep. And everybody will, and Mishka will get up pretty quickly. And Therzee will seemingly, you know, tend to her own wounds a little bit, and at least patch herself up enough. Mishka's still looking pretty bad, but she's certainly on her feet.
Yeah. I mean, probably just gonna.
And there's the breakup again. Man, Discord sucks today.
This one has a vendetta against Jinxx, and I don't understand why. It's so mean to Jinxx.
I know.
It's really annoying because the connection was green the whole time.
Yeah.
And then it just randomly shut off.
Yeah, no. And the thing is, like, during the entire break, we were chatting. No problems. As soon as we start up. And the thing is, it's not like I can claim it's, like, anything to do with the stream, because the stream, and we're still goddamn dropping frames, so, you know. 3%, great. We're 0.3%.
But, I mean, what I was saying is that I was just gonna, I guess, rest for a longer time, if I can.
So you're gonna try to get another hour rest. And if you guys will hold your ground for another hour, seemingly recovered. So if you want to roll that, your hit dice to see what you heal, go ahead.
Cool.
So you get 3 more. Not a huge jump, but enough that you're feeling at least better than you were.
That's good enough for me.
Things are quiet. You don't really hear anything going on. You're certainly far enough away that you probably wouldn't hear anything if there's a battle in the corridors or in the facility itself. But it seems like no one else has come this way, at least for now. No one else has attempted to secure this place. About another 15 minutes pass after that hour, and all of a sudden, you feel something. A rumbling. As there is a massive rumble. And please, everybody, give me dexterity saves as the entire like, everything just shakes. As almost if there may have been, like, an earthquake or something.
I'm good.
Yes.
That's in the saving throws bit, right?
Yes.
Oh, wait, that was a dexterity check, not a dexterity save. Dang it.
Oh. Well, we all did the same.
I mean, it's technically the same roll, though.
Is it the exact same roll?
Either
for
way.
You?
Yes, it is.
Either way, I'm just bad.
Yeah, you're just like not really still feeling good. So like when things shake, you just fall down to the ground, kind of with the shaking. Therzee, Versel, the two of you kind of like feel the shaking, but manage to kind of hold your ground. And, Versel, you actually... This is weird. You've probably felt an earthquake before. This doesn't feel like an earthquake, per se. It doesn't feel like a deep rumbling. It feels as though, like, something has occurred that the entire, like, mountain has shook. But it feels like it's coming from the mountain itself, maybe.
No, you know, Therzee skipped lunch, so...
I don't like the feeling of this. There was something more to that shake.
Not an earthquake?
I don't think so. Can I roll a knowledge check of some sort?
Sure. Roll me... Try nature first. Roll me a nature first.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah, definitely, you know that maybe some kind of large collapse of something could have caused that. But it would have to be a really big collapse, or maybe, some kind of, like, effect that would happen. It harkens back to, like, you know, some old stories that you heard. Something that seems a little bit more unusually natural, but still strange. Of an occurrence in actually an iron mine. One that was on the, like, edges of the territory. You know, something that, like, is on the edges of the forest, so it's not something that's directly related to your people. But, you know, you heard stories from passing trader. That at one time there was something happened where a light caused a big burst, almost like a massive fireball underground, when there was a funny smell in the air of some kind of gas in the air. One of the survivors talked about it, and he spread that story to you.
Interesting.
So, the thing is, like, you think that it could be maybe that, or, again, maybe, like, a big collapse of part of the facility could have occurred that could have caused that.
Okay.
Either way, there's damage somewhere. That would have been
I was about to say, something probably happened somewhere else in this facility. But I was told we should keep guard here. They need us, they'll call for us.
Well, okay then. I keep looking down that hallway.
Okay.
Can I just...
Go ahead.
I was just gonna, like, sit back up.
Yeah. Get yourself back up. There are no chairs in this room. There's some hammocks still. I mean, you can sit down in a hammock. The chairs are all out in the hall, piled up, you know? It's like, just like...
Yeah, I'll just hang out on the hammock now that all the chairs are gone.
At this point, probably the playing cards are spread all over the place, too. I mean, they're like the table they were on is flipped over.
When I flipped the table, cards probably went everywhere.
Yeah. Cards.
The only
You're gonna
things that were
I'm
messing
gonna have to do
with
some
at
52
some point
pickup if you
are all
wanna
gone.
play with this.
Yep. And probably, like, there was some probably, like, mugs of, like, ale or something you had, or, like, some rations or something. And it's like, there's just a mess all over the floor, over the bodies, too, because there's, like, 5 dead guys in here.
Maybe we should get those out of here.
Oh, I probably would have spent some time piling them in a corner.
Okay, there's a corner of dead
Put them
people.
in the hallway.
Maybe taking one of their spears, cutting off one of their heads, and putting it out in front.
We could put them. We could put them in the hallway. No, we could put them in the hallway
Put
so
the
they
bodies
trip
in the
over the other bodies.
You could mount
But
them
then
on
we could
chair
take their
legs.
spears.
You could mount them on chair legs, the hands.
And then we take their spears and we line them up on the table, so if they run at the table, they're gonna get speared.
We can make on the chairs. We can make them look like they're still standing.
Yep. Anyway, so you clean up the place as best you can and sort of put your defenses together, and Dawn. I was gonna say Dawn. I was gonna say Dawn. Therzee,
Go on.
because you're kind of watching down it, you kind of feel like all of you kind of feel a secondary rumble, as if something else is occurring. And Therzee, you see, like, with your dark vision, a burst of almost dust coming from down the tunnel, where the guards had originally come from. And then it kind of settles.
Either something's coming or something has collapsed. There's something at the end of the tunnel.
I'm not sure if a collapse in that tunnel at this point would be beneficial or harmful. If they manage to defend off the front, then probably better that the back is sealed. If they fail, well then we have no escape, and we're fish in a barrel.
I really like the sound of that.
Yeah.
Well, are you doing anything about what you saw? Or are you just going to kind of stay in the room for now?
I'm gonna grab, like, one of the mugs or something and just lob it down the hallway, see if anything's collapsing, see if it hits anything.
Okay. You chuck it. It's a mug, so it kind of goes and clinks within your field of vision, and whatever happened was outside of your field of vision, so, I mean, it doesn't go far enough, unfortunately. But, yeah,
no one ran at it, so...
Yeah. It's like a tin mug, so it's like clink, 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 and it just kind of echoes down the hall. Actually, give me perception, because you did that. We'll say... We can give you that.
No.
Okay. It makes a kind of clinking noise, and that's it.
That's it.
But, you know, everything kind of settles into a quietness again. About another half an hour passes, and you do feel another couple of those kind of tremors from various places, but none as nearby as the last one felt. That one felt like very close by. These other ones, not so much. But also, no one has come to help you. No one has come to back you up at all. It's just been the three of you alone here. And now a number of hours has passed.
Has it gone into what would normally be sleep time?
It probably would be getting close to the evening now.
Okay, then we might want to take watches.
Good plan.
Okay.
I can take first watch. I'm already here.
Mishka should take the first. Should sleep first. She'll take last
Sounds
watch.
Alright.
I'll take first.
Okay.
Okay.
I won't complain about climbing into a hammock.
Okay.
I'm gonna leave my short bow by the table and everything, in case it needs to be used for something long range.
Okay. Alright, you'll kind of settle into two of you beginning to rest, and Versel, you will kind of start to take the first watch. As you're kind of...
I will be ready with my short.
Oh, okay.
Versel!
Do I recognize the voice?
You do. It's a familiar friend who helped you out before.
I remember that voice.
You should. It's I who brought you here. As sitting on top of the table, kind of appearing into view, is the imp, Zeren. I'm afraid something has happened. They need you, Zeren, and Versel. I am but an imp, not a fighter, as you remember. a facilitator. The eye is in danger. But perhaps you can save it. I have other business to attend to, but I sensed you were close in my business. And I thought, offer an old friend a warning.
Very well. I shall... Perhaps I should ask, do you know what happened to the rest of the cult? Have they...
Many are dead. The battle goes
I see.
poorly. I was attempting to gather a few of the outlying troops. It seems that a second assault shall happen soon.
I see.
The eye must not fall into their hands. Your Grand High Master may still be alive. If you could rescue him, it would do great for the cult.
Very well. Grand High Master, is that like the leader of the cult?
Yes, he's the leader of the Cult of the Ruby Eyes. Again, he's a man who no one knows his real name, and he's just known for wearing a mask.
Very well. Shall we steal the eye away from here?
What judgment you take, well, I shall leave to you, my old friend. We shall meet again.
Very well.
When time is right.
Very well. I am in your debt after all.
No. You've become a great servant of our Lord, the Ruby. The Ruby Eyes watches all. Watches through mine and realizes your greatness. Continue your path, my old friend.
Okay.
He'll kind of then disappear from view and be gone.
How long has it been? Have the others gotten any sort of rest in?
Like 2 hours.
Okay. Dang. Oh well.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm gonna start with Therzee.
Mm-hmm.
Give him a quick wiggle.
Just pull out, you
How
know.
many hit points have I gotten back?
None. You haven't had a long rest yet.
Okay.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Great! Eventually.
Eventually, you'll have a chance to heal. Eventually.
And maybe we'll have a store of potions that let you use.
Yeah, maybe you'll find a potion, and you can use that. Anyway, Therzee, you awaken to Versel, kind of like moving your hammock.
Well, is it my turn already?
Sadly, no. I have been informed by a messenger of Asmodeus himself that the eye is in danger, and we must protect it.
Where's everyone else? Why aren't they protected? Who protected my core?
From the information I was given, a large toll was taken from the first wave, and another is coming.
Oh. Yeah, no, that's not good. Alright. So, do you know if we can get through the tunnel? Do we have to go around a different way? Like, okay.
I do not know. Right. We shall, but it is important that we make haste to protect the eye.
Alright. You wake her up. I'm gonna go see if the tunnel's clear. It's like rubbing the sleep out of my eyes. Like,
Yeah, it's basically like, it was a long day. You've got like 2 hours of sleep now.
I'm done with the day. I'm just like, alright.
This is gonna go so well.
2 hours is better than nothing. At least you got sleep. I had first watch.
You got a nap. You got to nap it, yeah.
I did. Yeah. In fact, you guys probably got, about 3 hours, like an hour of rest as well. I was working.
Yeah.
Anyway, I go to wake Mishka up.
Yep, Mishka, you can... Mishka, you'll be awakened, again by Versel.
Yeah. Cool. Why are we waking up?
I'm sorry, but you do not have time to rest. I have been informed by a messenger of Asmodeus himself that we must protect the eye.
How are we going to do that?
For the information, the eye is normally kept in the ritual chamber.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Well, planning comes next.
Okay. I guess I'll just get ready then. She's very tired.
Yeah. Therzee, you don't see anything down the hall. Everything seems clear both ways. The way that you think that guards would come, and then like the way you would go back into the facility, both seem clear.
Okay.
Or were you asking if it was blocked off though? Like if we could escape through there?
Yeah, I was just trying to see like if anything was down there.
If you wanted to wander down the hall a little bit, you could see, because you could see if like maybe like something farther down. But that's up to you how far you want to kind of push it forward.
I'll like go around the corners a little, but like not really far.
Okay, so you like wander down for maybe let's say like 100 feet away from the door. You've got dark vision. Yes, towards the way the guards came from, there's some kind of collapse. There's like rubble in the way. You're not sure if it's clearable, but it's at least blocking the way right now. So it seems that your escape this direction is at least blocked off for now.
Okay. Yeah, I'll wander back and, report this information.
Well, if the way is blocked, then there's no need for us to be here anyway.
Yeah. Oh, I'm all for getting out of it.
Yeah, go.
Right. You assemble yourselves and you head back into the facility. It's like it's a long tunnel before the guard room even, so it's like a 10-minute walk into the facility itself. But eventually you get into where the secret door opens up, and you will find it ajar. The secret door leads into like a back storage room, where there's of course a couple, like this is more like a food storage room near the dining area. The room itself seems quiet. You don't see any sign of anybody, but you did see that the secret door was actually slightly ajar. And Versel, you didn't leave it like that.
I'm gonna...
And basically, the person you caught was like right outside of the storeroom in the hall when you ran into them, basically when they were running around. And that was the person you ran into.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so basically I got basically just past the store, and that's where I found people.
Yeah.
I'm going to... Just because I'm probably the healthiest right now, I probably am the lead. I'm also a melee fighter.
Yeah.
Kind of.
You're a cleric.
The most melee
You use enhancement magic and can tank as a backup tank, so that's the power of cleric.
Yep. So I'm going to stealthily attempt to push the door open and see what's on the other side.
Alright. Then please roll me a stealth check.
That's a good roll. Man, I'm rolling really well on ability checks. Not so great on combat, but great on ability checks.
Yeah. You walk up, you kind of creep up, kind of move the door open. You can see that outside in the hall area, the first thing you notice is there's someone lying there. A body. It seems dressed in some kind of robes, similar to what some of the ritual people of the cult use.
Similar to, or
it looks
is?
like the robes. Again, like
Okay.
he's lying face down. He or she is lying face down. It looks like just like gray robes from the back. It's like the front has some like symbols and like some emblazoned on it, kind of thing. Some you're not getting a good view of like
Well, then I'm gonna flip him over and double check.
Yes, it's a member of the cult who seems very dead. It looks as though they've like had something stab into their face.
Oh!
Interesting.
You can see to your
Oh, jeez.
right down the hall. It looks like you could still access the dining hall area, but farther down, it seems there's been another collapse. There's the rubbles kind of like lying down there. It seems as though there's a little bit of a fire on one of the pieces of rubble, like some of the some wood beams that were put in to like keep things secured in the hallway, kind of because it's like you used wood and the carved stone to kind of shore up your facility here. It looks as though maybe there's some more fire on the other side of the collapse. The collapse isn't like completely covering things, but you can just see like red on the other side of it. And to your left, which there's a large fire.
Oh, like that kind of red. Okay.
Yeah. To your left, which heads towards the staircase up, and a training room, seems clear.
Very well. I mean, I lead the group in that direction, I guess.
Okay.
I mean, we're clearly being railroaded, so.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about. Mm-hmm. I mean, you could always go certain places. It's up to you.
I know. At this point, I have no desire to, walk out in front where the paladins are and get my level 1 ass killed.
We're all just gonna die in this first session.
Yeah.
As you pass it, the doors to the training room are wide open. You can see that there was some kind of battle in here. A number of the guards and someone dressed in slightly better armor are there, including a dozen of your fellow cult members. Most of them are actually people that you trained with. And they all seem, well, dead. You're not sure who won this battle, but the bodies were not recovered from either side.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean,
This doesn't look good.
nothing we can do about the dead. Let's keep going.
Alright.
Yeah, I guess so.
You can easily head up...
Through standing on hands,
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll make.
Stepping on their
I
heads.
mean,
It's fine.
I'm just gonna make my way pretty much as directly towards the ritual chamber as I can.
Okay.
Taking side routes where possible to avoid potential combat areas.
Okay. It'll take you a little while.
Do I hear any combat?
No, everything seems quiet right now. You don't see any signs
Still
of...
better to avoid.
Yeah. You see no signs of
It's better
anybody
to
on your side alive, but you also hear no signs of combat either.
Yeah. Well, that's actually if I see no signs of us alive and I hear no combat, that's actually a worse sign. That means. Do I hear anything? Actually, I'm just gonna roll a general perception check.
Sure. Okay. You hear occasional little little shifts. So like you hear like dirt and sand falling, like as maybe like structurally things are unstable here and there, and you can hear actually like the sounds of like fires too, occasionally in places.
It's weird to hear. I'm actually gonna comment. It's strange to hear. No enemies, no allies. Something is amiss here, and I think we must make haste.
Now this makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah. We should probably really get going.
you can double time it pretty easily towards, while trying still to be, like, out of sight if there are enemies still afoot. And you manage to finally reach it, though, after a little bit of travel. A little longer than you probably would have normally took to get here, just because safety's sake. As you said, a little few side passages that actually you knew about. You reach the Grand Chambers. This chamber was once a large square. In the center of it was the massive circle of the ritual, with up on a raised dais in the direct center of it, the eye. In 4 areas, there was basically rows of pews that were kind of diagonal. So rather than being kind of circled, it was just like lines diagonally out from the center in each of these kind of like 4 corners of the room, with main passages leading in here. You can see that part of the chamber is collapsed towards the back of it, with a lot of the pews in the 2 back kind of corners crushed. There are countless dead here, of seemingly both sides. And in the center...
yeah, I'll let you finish.
Okay.
Sorry.
In the center, where the orb should be, it is not. Instead, it remains in the hands of a familiar-looking individual who is still kind of sitting there, grasping it, kind of putting it like a sword out in one hand. The Grand High Master. In front of him are 2 men in shining armor, dead. You can see next to the Grand High Master, the 2 devils which once served him lay dead, up on the sides of the dais. So
Is he breathing?
You can't tell from this distance, because you basically just entered into like the doors that are ajar. You can see that some of like a couple of the large oil like braziers have been poured over, and so there's still a little bit of fire kind of burning in places in here too. You can definitely see that there's like cracks in the ceiling and stuff too, where damage has occurred.
Yes. I'm gonna make my way over. Definitely looking towards the main entrance to make sure there is no one coming from that direction. But otherwise, I'm gonna make my way over to the master and see if he's alive. Medicine check. Medicine score.
Okay. As you approach, you hear this labored kind of like...
Master.
Take it. Find her. As the orb just falls from his hand.
If only I had saved to cure wounds. Then I would have totally ruined your plans.
Look, he may have just failed his 3rd death save. I'm just saying, as you arrived.
I know.
And
I know.
NPC, dramatic willpower kept him unconscious.
Yep.
As
That's
the
fair.
the eye, which kind of actually reminds you of like a massive tiger's eye, is what it looks like. Except where it would be black in the center, it is blood red.
Pretty dope.
Yeah, but the thing is like the size of a bowling ball, too. Yeah.
How do you carry that?
I mean, carefully.
Very carefully.
He had it cradled in his arms. It's like a bowling ball. So the answer is yes.
Great.
Not enough that you couldn't like throw it in a backpack or something.
Yeah, I was about to say I'm gonna, I guess, take it and fit it in my backpack.
As you pick it up and see into it, you can just, for a second, as you like touch it, you feel as though something is watching you. These staring red eyes.
What was this one called again? The Eye of...
Asmodeus.
Okay, just Asmodeus.
Yeah, it's just the Eye of Asmodeus. And
Went
like
into my sheet.
yeah, so you just like kind of pause for a second, like staring at it, and then like you hear this voice coming through you. Dear me. Coming from behind all of you.
Oh,
Let's me turn around really quick.
spin
Yeah.
around, yeah, with the bow out.
Oh, no need for such things. Behind you is a devil. One that you've seen before in this area. You know him as Felsidius. He is tall, perhaps 11, 12 feet tall, very lanky, red-skinned horns, very long fingers, a pointed tail. Very traditionally devil, but he's also dressed in a very fine kind of like outfit, kind of like a noble's, like equivalent to like what a good suit would be, but it's very like noble, regal. This won't do at all.
What won't?
My good friend here. He did his best to fulfill his end of the contract. But failure is still failure.
What did he have to do?
The ritual. Why, it must still be completed. But I fear you might not be able to escape here. No, you three are in trouble. But perhaps I can make a deal with you. As he gets this wry smile on his face. Perhaps I haven't formally introduced myself to you. O servants of my lord, I'm Felsidius, master contractor of the Ruby Eyes.
What kind of contract are you trying to offer us?
Ah, safety. But his contract, too. He wanted great power, great wealth, many a things, strength, not only for himself, but for our Lord. And so he sought to complete the ritual and use the eye. The eye has many uses, though. I could use it to protect you. It will take some time before you can use it again, though, if you use it this way. It is a fickle artifact. It appears where needed, when needed. But perhaps I could inform you where it would be next, once it protects you.
What would it be protecting us from exactly? Do you know what's coming?
It seems that our enemy also has a object of power. The large shaking that occurred here was their attack. They'll be using it again soon. And if anything remains standing, they have a division of warriors ready to swarm in. Now, you may...
While my chances of success are quite minimal, I'm going to roll insight.
Okay, sure.
Because, devil's in deception.
Mm-hmm.
And that wasn't a great roll either.
Nope.
You know what? I might join you on that one. I don't
Yeah.
trust this guy.
I can do that too.
Oh, well.
Okay.
Alright, no, that's no shit.
I'm just gonna roll something.
No, we would have needed like a nat. We'd
Okay.
have needed a nat 20.
Let me put it this way. Without even worrying about his bonuses, I rolled higher than all of you got on your checks.
Yep.
Yep.
So, yeah. Look. The next wave will most likely finish off this place, and why perhaps you want to see if one of the other escape routes still stands. It's not filled with more soldiers. It's hard to say how many they actually discovered. I fear that there was a betrayal in this place. Perhaps he gathered too many individuals. A smaller group may have been better for the ritual. Yes, smaller. You there, skilled one. I know that a associate of mine is a communicator with you. Since I'm usually quite busy, once you are safe again, I will ensure that Zaren comes to find you. Zaren seeks you out.
Pickle Wyrm, actually.
If I use the orb, it has a lot of power to it. But it shall, as I said, takes time for that power to return. And it will send itself somewhere else in this world. Not beyond your capabilities, I believe. But
What exactly are you doing with it?
I'm going to remove you from their perception. It will carry you there in a sort of stasis while they attack, while they damage this place. And then once safety is returned, you'll be brought back out of it. I'm afraid this effect may garner the same effect to any more members of your group still alive in this place. I sense there might be a few individuals left.
What do you get out of this deal, then? Like,
I wish for the ritual to be complete. My lord, your lord, wishes for the ritual to be complete, and this is not a state in which it may be done. And you are already a groundwork for a new cult of the Ruby Eye. It is so hard to find individuals that are willing to go as far as you already have. So, why start from scratch? It'll just be a little longer before we can enact things. But patience is something our Lord has.
No, all we have to do is sign the contract.
All you have to do is sign his contract, with a few addendum for you specifically. And the good news is, if you had any respect for him, you might still succeed. His spirit will be in a limbo. We already had it for when he died. But if he had been a successful, great man for us, he would find a much better position, perhaps reborn as one of my kin. But in his state now, well, he'll end up with the rest of the trash. We can keep it in Holden. Perhaps with the rest of your fellows. Glory for all those that passed.
We don't have much of another option. There isn't enough left to fend off an attack.
Excellent.
I say to the other two.
it would be pretty good to rebuild the cult again, I guess. I enjoy getting fed and paid.
And
It
as
is part of everything.
it's true, it is part of it all. And as the new leaders of said cult, you would have such a much better position to, well, share the wealth with yourselves first before the rest of your people, as any good leader would do. As again, he gives another wry smile. Embezzlement is good in the devil world.
Yeah, I mean, it's expected.
Mm-hmm. Look, you're lawful evil. You just skirt the line on a lot of these things.
Oh yeah, no, like my, you know, the definition of lawful evil is basically a corrupt politician. So,
So the devil.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I say we trust it.
you are out of my bag and hold it out.
He'll reach down his kind of like lengthy hands and kind of pick it up, and then hold out like a contract that just almost kind of like unsleeves from his sleeves. Like it comes out from his sleeves, like down into his hand. It is seemingly red, as you can see like down at the bottom as it unfurls itself. 3 new lines come up. You can see that there is like a signed name above it, with a fingerprint in blood. He holds out a pen to you first. Sign, and then after you kind of like, which one of you takes the pen, he'll pull out a small dagger, and it like 2 of his fingers, and kind of hold it up, and print.
I do so.
I'll go after.
Okay.
I'm the last.
Okay. Excellent. Well, perhaps we shall meet again, when the time is right. It has been a while since I've had to use the orb myself. Unfortunately, as my kind cannot use it as well as your kind. But I do know a few tricks. So, good night to you. And I hope that when you awaken, you have your chances to find this again. And you prove us all wise for trusting you. Goodbye. As the orb will glow, and we'll go to our second break. Alright, yep, second break. You need a bathroom,
Cool.
snack, anything like that, go ahead and do that. We'll be back shortly.